Hello everyone, it's Johnny here at the Power With The Garage. I have to apologize, my last video was kind of sporadic. It was been a busy life, you know how it goes, and I just threw a video together, put it out. I'm sorry, this video would be a lot better, promise. I've already had 2 videos on these, this is the 3rd video. I am redoing my motor mounts again. So, you guys saw this fiasco is one of my first attempts, and I put a hockey puck on there and a bolt down through it. Then I got a little bit more creative, and I finally got my TIG water, and I created this little contraption that bolted to the motor. I dropped the bolt down through, and as you can tell, it's kind of janky. It kind of worked. So I went online. I found these guys. So this piece I am welding to the car, and then these pieces they'll get half shaped or half mooned or whatever, and get welded to this. So what I'm going to do today is bolt this down where these 4 pieces are level. So I'll bolt it down to a piece of metal, flat metal here. I have holes drilled in, and I'll bolt it down. So I'll bolt these flat. I'll put spacers under this end so it's flat. And I know that this edge is the edge that the flat surface that I need. So what I'll do is I'll cut this. Like I said, it's I'm probably gonna have to cut it like here. This is a big gap. We're going to have to cut it straight across here, straight across here, and then I'll weld just a flat plate straight across on this. So it'll be this bracket, the factory bracket, with just a flat plate welded on it, and then I'll put that in the car. And then once I have that flat plate on the car, I'll be able to weld this piece into the car. And then I'll take cardboard cutouts, which I had a pair here somewhere. Let's throw them away. Oh, here's one. So I took little cardboard cutouts that fit this bolt hole, and that's where I cut the other side, which I'll show you real quick. Take you out of the tray. So I've already done one side, and as you can see, I took this is the metal plate for the bracket on the car. I welded a flat plate. You see right here, I think. Yeah, I had to notch it out for this. And then these are half moon shape that I welded solid here. These are already welded to the thing, and then I put 2 tack welds here and here on here. So this side's done. I got to do the same thing for the other side, and then once I have both of these tacked really good so they'll stay in place, I will unbolt the motor, pull the motor up out of the way, and then I'll crawl in here and I'll grind all this. I'll grind all this smooth, and then on the bottom smooth, and weld those 2 pieces in solid, and then the motor mounts will be completely done, so that way I can take the motor in and out easily. But alright, stay tuned and keep at it. Alright, so took the flat plate. I drilled 4 holes. As you can see, the bracket's now bolted to it. These 2 go flat, but in the car, these are kicked up from the block has offsets. So I ended up putting a bunch of washers in there to give me this is kind of like my jig. So this way I can cut as much of this out as I want. And these 4 points never change because I need these 4 points on the block to bolt this back on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this, and I'm going to cut this off flat here and here, and then cut a piece of flat metal to weld in place. Give me a minute. Okay, after fighting and fighting and fighting, so I had to take this bracket, I removed the polyurethane bushing, took this section and I cut it off, which I think I threw it, I don't know where I put it. But as you can see, I have it tack welded. So I got a weld across here, weld across here, and then this will bolt to the car, and then this bracket, which I was prepping here, this bracket will bolt to the engine just like this. So that bolts on the car like that. This will bolt on the this will bolt on the car, this will bolt on the engine. And then in between those two are the pieces that connect. But I have this all cleaned up. Getting ready to start welding it. So, alright, I'll get back when I'm done welding here. Bah. You guys all welded up. Just the heat through the metal. Guarantee it's not going to come off. I redid this one. This is. You can definitely see that there's heat penetration. You see in the back here. Guarantee that's not coming off. Alright, I'm going to get this bolted in the car. Determine where I want this. And then grind this up here. And then tack this in place. And then build the bridges between them. Give me a minute. Alright, so as you can see, I got it in place. I have the bracket tack welded in. And you can see my cardboard cutouts right there that I have cut for the little ears. So there's cardboard right here, cardboard right here. I have this tack welded here. So pull this out. I have inside left. This one should stay inside right. Yep. So now what I'll do is take these templates I have, transfer them one to here, line up that hole. Work those, I'll cut those, and then I'll put the bolt back through with these on it down there, and I'll tighten that down tight, and then I'll tack weld the ear. I'll tack weld these ears onto that bracket, the motor mount bracket, and then I will remove the whole assembly out, weld those solid, and then we should be able to set it down, put the bolt through, and then this engine should sit on its own in those cylindrical or whatever, the round motor mounts. And then once I do that, I can actually pull the engine back out, go in there, and then I can weld the top of that bracket solid on both sides, and then the bottom, so that way they're good and solid, they're not going to go anywhere. But stay tuned, I'll get these cut and keep moving. Okay, so I got the tails made. You can see them off here. So they're in. I have a tack welded up there on top. So now what I'll do is I'll unbolt. I'll take that big bolt out. And I'll unbolt that bracket from the car, and I should be able to pull that thing straight up out. And then once I have it up out of the car, then I can weld those solid. Alright. Alright, so got them welded together, inside and out. You see by the blue tint to it, it got hot enough. So now I'm going to install this back down in there the way it belongs, and we should be done. I will get back with you guys here in a second and then wrap up. Alright, so we got her in. She bolted to the thing. The jack's pulled out. So this is what we're working with now. This side, it's a flat plate with the bearing outside. On that side, if we look inside now of the car, the shifter's where it belongs. It's centered, it's square. Now I have to work on making the cross member for the transmission And then the whole engine will be sitting there on its own. This has been a rough ride. Alright, so let me get you back up here on the stand. Ooh. Wow, there's all sorts crooked here. Let's get you level. Alright, not gonna lie. Oh, you're crooked again. Here we go. Alright. These motor mounts have been the bane of my existence from the beginning of this. Finally was able to get a decent setup in here. So now the engine, like I said, setting on its own. Where the shifter goes down in is finally level. I don't know why I didn't do that from the get. I tried to level it off the valve cover, and I didn't know from factory this engine like leans to the one side. So it's in there, it's squared up left to right. Transmission's where it belongs. I have to build the transmission cross member now. I got to make sure I have the right degree angle downslope, which I have plenty. And hopefully this weekend, if everything pans out, I'm going to go start sourcing out the steering rack for this, because right now has an old style kind of like Pitman arm type thing, like in a pickup truck. And whenever you go left or right, it doesn't have an actual steering rack. It's just a bunch of like big long tie rod ends. The problem with that is on a steering rack you have your two set points and then it goes left or right. Well, this thing like pivots here in the middle, so it'll go up when you go to the right, or it'll go down when you go to the left. And the problem with that is when it goes up, it's hitting the oil pan. So I need to source out an actual steering rack that's behind the wheels. It's really complicated, but thank you guys for watching this episode. And like I said, I'm sorry for the last one. I just threw it together. Hopefully this one's a little more interesting for you guys. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned.